ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Xbox One Edition. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the city of Nerdsdale, where things are going pretty darn well indeed, unless you happen to live in the Green District, because something is definitely up with the text just there. That is, that's a bit weird. So that is. Can I rename this real quick? Did that? No, that did not work. T. No, that didn't work. Let me just try renaming it to green for a sec. There we go. I fixed the problem. That's fine. So let's just go back and call this the Green District as opposed to just green. So dist R, I, C, and T. There we go. So Green District is back, and I think the first thing I'd like to do today is actually run a bus line out to and through the Green District just a little bit, because we don't have one going this way just yet. Now, a couple of people have been asking whether or not I was going to run a bus line out here, or whether or not I was going to have a bus line that goes around this area. Well, quite simply, my idea is that I'd like a bus line that goes to about there. So it's gonna begin there. I want it to go to about that spot, and then I would like it to come up to about there. About there, because then it can turn around and it can come back, because I would like it to do that. So it's gonna come back and it's gonna go into the city. It's gonna go to the bus station over here, so it's gonna go to that spot. Then it's gonna come back out. Interestingly, it does opt to take the highway to do that. That's actually okay, because it's going to do that. And that's going to be our bus line that goes out to the Green District. And I'm certainly hopeful that that is going to get a good bit of use. I'm certainly hoping that we see a lot of people opt into using that particular bus line, because, you know, it's going to be a way for them to... Did you just cross that road without any consideration of your own health and safety, sir? I saw that. I saw you floating across the road back there. Alright, so we're going to let that bus line get going. It's going to take a little while before it is fully up and running. We have the buses heading out over here, which is beautiful to see. While we're waiting for that to get somewhere, while we're waiting for that bus line to get up and running, last episode I asked for some suggestions regarding where the end of this series is necessarily going to be. And there were a lot of really good suggestions. A lot of people had great ideas. Some people were saying, what about 15 to 20,000 people? What about getting $10,000 per day, or whatever the time period is? I've had people telling me it's per week, per hour, per day. What about getting a profit of $10,000? That was another suggestion, like I said. So what I've decided is that we're gonna just see what we can do in the next couple of episodes, and I think I'll just wrap it up when I'm just not really feeling like playing a lot more of this. I'm really looking forward to Mass Transit coming out in a couple of weeks, and I'd really like to have just a little bit of a break between this series and that one, so I don't know exactly where this one's going to come to an end, but it will be in the next couple of episodes. Then we'll have about a week or two of downtime before Mass Transit comes along later this month, so you'll not be too long without City Skylines. This is going to be an interesting month for it for sure, because I'm quite excited for the DLC on PC. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and just bulldoze a couple of abandoned buildings. There was just the one there, and we have one in Prospect Park. It's actually nice seeing that Prospect Park is doing a little bit better for itself. Also noticing that we have got some demand for residential zoning, so I would like to try and fill up the Green District just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and start filling up some of the roads over here a little bit. Let's begin with this stretch in here. I want to try and... I'm going to pause while I do this, so if I do get any zoning on the avenue there, it's not going to be a big deal. So then I just want to fill up all of the space on this particular side of the road, so we can just get a bunch of people living in there so that these extra roads can get a little bit of use as well. So we'll fill up all of that zoning just like so. There we go. And then we just need to tidy it up a little bit by getting rid of what's all on those sides and getting rid of this little bit down here as well. So that I'm quite happy about. There's a little bit of stuff in here I'd like to zone as well, just there. Maybe we get rid of that little bit. There we go. So that looks fine to me. We might have some issues getting power across to this other side. So what I think I might do is run the simulation so it hopefully starts building relatively quickly. And I'll throw myself a Japanese garden in there. So somewhere like there, I could put another one right there, but I'll just put one right there so we can actually have a connection across with some electricity. At least I hope we... Oh no, there is totally a connection going across there. Beautiful. So that's definitely going to help things out a little bit and definitely going to do some good stuff for us. So what unique buildings do we currently have? We have the Statue of Shopping. We have the Statue of Wealth. We have both of those. Anything else I can place, though? Not really. The Mall of Moderation is going to need me to have a lot more garbage per building. The Posh Mall is going to need tax rates to be 4% at most for an extended period of time. Now, that's possible, technically, because I have unlimited funds. This wants me to have 1,000 weekly passengers in public transport. That's nearly there. This wants... This one full lifespan lived in the city. Okay. And 10,000 square miles of residential zoning. Okay, so we're getting there with a lot of these. I don't know how many of those we're gonna get, but it would be nice to get at least a few in here. And that is way too many buses for that line. Good lord, and that's a lot of people using bikes. And one dog. 2 dogs, in fact. Okay, well that's kind of nice to see. Oh my god, look at all these... Look how many people are biking to and fro. That's awesome, actually. Oh, that makes me so happy. That's exactly what I want to see. I wanted to see people biking. Oh, man. That's beautiful right there. That's absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go into economy for a second because I want to go to budget and I want to bring down the bus budget because we have too many buses. I want to bring it down to about 80% to see if I can, you know, pull a few buses off these lines. Because there's too many of them. There are oh god, what happened to the district thing? So that's happened again. We'll ignore that. Anywhere else? Oh wow. So all but one of my districts seem to be having some trouble, which is interesting. Okay. That's an interesting bug to have, but sure. Oh, there we go. So that bus is going to give... Oh my god, there's a lot of people want to head to the city. So there's a couple of buses there that we can clearly see are going to head back to the depot. I think I might cut the budget a little bit further. How many buses do we currently have is the question. If we go to the inspector, we can see that we are currently using 71 buses. I feel like that's too many. I feel like we're using a few too many buses. Let me bring that budget down to 75%. And we'll see what happens then. So if we go back to here... I assume it's going to say 71 buses until they return. So once all the buses get back to the depot, we'll see just how many we're actually using. Again, there's a couple of buses around here that I'm hoping are going to, you know, stop. There's a lot of people walking around here, though. And I have to assume a lot of these people are absolutely... Yeah, look at this. So many people want to come over here and go to the city. Which is... really, really cool. Interesting that they don't want to go to this stop, though. That's really interesting. If we have a look over here, yeah, there's actually a lot of people want to head out that way. Okay, I'm quite okay with this. That line is actually proving to be relatively successful, which is pretty darn cool, actually. So, let me have a look at our next milestone. I want to see if we can get there today. So we need another, well, quite a few people, 2,500 people. So that's going to be a lot of high-density housing that we are going to need. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to rip out a lot of residential zoning. And this might just cause issues, but my thinking here is that if I was to tear all of this out of here, let me try that again because for some reason it canceled. If I was to tear all of this out of here, and I was to tear, let's see, let's get a huge chunk of residential zoning out of here. So all of that. is going to be gone. Now, that's going to hurt my population overall. But my thinking here is if this works and this actually pays off, we're going to get a lot of high-density zoning in here, which can really do some good stuff for us. Now, this is probably going to take a while to refill, but I'm going to do this. We're gonna have a go at filling all that up with some residential, high-density residential zoning. So we'll get that all in there. I think what I will do is just change up this little middle bit here so that we're going to have some high-density commercial in there. And we'll see how that goes. So that's really going to hurt the population. That is going to do us no favors in terms of the city's population. In fact, as you can see, the population has dropped considerably. But my thinking here is that by getting rid of all that zoning, it should, in a way, drive up the demand for residential space, because obviously they're going to need places to live. So we might see this area over here fill up a little bit quicker, and we should see some high-density buildings come in here, which will, as time goes by, hopefully attract a whole bunch of people. And as we can see, there are some high-density buildings popping up already, just here and there. So I'm kind of hopeful about what I might have done here. Not going to guarantee that it was a good idea, but I'm feeling okay about it. I'm definitely feeling okay about this whole situation. Let me just get rid of some of these houses because they absolutely should not be there. As for this area over here, I mean, it's getting there, I suppose. So many people going for the bus, which really is nuts. I still don't know why they're going for... Oh my god, there's so many... Oh my god, look at all these people! There's so many of them walking through the neighborhood. Why are none of you going over here? Like, why is this bus stop not desirable? I guess it's probably because this bus stop does go all the way over here, doesn't it? Like, it goes to there, and then it goes to there, and then this is the one that directly takes you to the city. Oh, that is so cool. There's so many people are walking to the bus. That is awesome. Let's have ourselves a little look then at the public transport numbers. So, over 1,000 people using public transport per week. That means we have the transport tower, which is pretty darn cool, actually. I can throw it in there, and I think I'm going to throw it there next to my bus station, because that seems pretty good. That seems like a cool place to put the transport tower. I'm quite happy about that. Oh man, I'll tell you what though, it's probably going to take a while for this area in here to actually fill up. Like, it's gonna take a considerable amount of time, but I'm fairly confident that I've done a good thing here. We'll see. Time will tell. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This waiting game that I'm playing right now, this whole sitting around and just looking at Walnut Hills, waiting for this to build, is really boring. I've been sat here just staring at my screen for about 15 minutes, and this is where we are. It's not really done, and I feel like it's going to take some time. So what I'm going to do for the rest of today's episode is I'm going to go ahead and I'm basically going to fill up this area over here with zoning, and I'm going to get everything ready for the time between this episode and the next, where I am what is that zoning there? That's very strange. Where I'm basically going to let the game run in order to fill up all of the zoning that we currently have. So we're going to prepare for that today. We're going to figure out what exactly we're going to need. We're probably going to need more schools. That's for sure. We are going to need more schools because, well, we are not going to have enough of them, to put it quite simply. Also, I am currently recording this video several hours before it's due to release. I don't usually record videos. I don't usually record videos on the day that they're due to release, but I've been super busy recently and have been doing that a little bit more recently just to keep myself sane. And while I was waiting, I brought up a couple of things and looked up at the news, and there's some interesting stories breaking in the news in the UK at the moment, in the middle of the night, in that the entire staff, a lot of the royal staff for Buckingham Palace have been called to an emergency meeting in the palace in the middle of the night. As a resident of the UK, I'm very nervous. I will say, by the time this video is going out, the chances are we are going to know what's going on. There's a lot of speculation regarding what may be happening or what may have happened. But again, I'm not going to talk about the speculation that I've read, because by the time this video is going out, we will know what has happened. Because generally speaking, if it is something that's, you know, worst case scenario in that the monarch has passed away, or a member of the royal family has passed away, then that is officially announced by the BBC at 8 a.m. So for me, it's only a couple of hours until I find out what exactly is going on. But it's a little bit of a nervous time in the UK at the moment. A little bit of a nervous time. And I'm not big into politics or anything. Not really a political kind of guy. Really, I like reading about politics. I like political TV shows. In fact, I've been watching a lot of Designated Survivor recently, which is a really bloody good show. It's on Netflix. Very, very good. Stars Kiefer Sutherland. Is it Kiefer? Kiefer? I don't know. Whatever his name is. He was in 24, wasn't he? That guy. Stars him. It's a very good show. It's basically what would happen if the entirety of Congress was lost in an attack, which is actually a real protocol that the United States has. The Designated Survivor thing, I'm pretty sure, is a real thing. Anytime Congress gets together completely, there's always one or two people who are not at that particular meeting of Congress, because if Congress were to be attacked, it means that Designated Survivor would then become president. Very, very interesting show. I have to say, really, really interesting show. I like political thrillers. I kind of like House of Cards for that reason, although it's gotten a little... I don't know if the last season of House of Cards is very good. I can't really decide. I know there's a new season coming out and I'm quite excited for it, so, you know, there's that. But, not to go too far into talking about television and politics, but yeah, it's proving to be a very interesting morning. It's going to be a very, very interesting morning for the United Kingdom, Great Britain and allies and the Commonwealth and all that stuff. It's everyone is a little bit nervous, a little bit wary, and a little bit scared from what I'm reading. So hopefully by the time this video goes out, it's been good news. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because it's really, it's weird talking about this at the moment. It's weird even bringing it up. I know there's no point. It's a Cities Skylines video. I get that. But by this point, I'm sure you're aware that I talk about a lot of different things that have nothing to do with the game in these videos. So hopefully you're used to my ramblings by this point. Anyway, what I've done there, as you've seen, is I've gone ahead and just expanded a lot of the roads. I've seen a few people asking me to stray away from grids a little bit recently. I'm probably not going to do that today, just because I want to really boost the population between this episode and the next one. And I figured the best way to boost the population considerably is going to be by sticking with these grids and really locking in the whole grid thing. So hopefully we're going to see some really nice growth in this particular area between this episode and the next. But we're not done yet. We're not done just yet. Because I think I would like to try and bring a little bit more suburb just over here. I want to at least give it a shot. So let me get this road here. I'm going to go another 10 units that way, and then I'm going to switch to freeform. So we're going to sort of freeform up this hill a little bit, because I think that'll be a nice thing to do. Freeform to about there, I think. So about that point should do the job. Yeah, that'll be fine. We could totally connect over to here if we wanted to, but we'll not bother with that just yet. Let's just get these roads here with the cycle paths. Let's get them into some of this space. Gonna freeform these as well. And sort of lead them out to about there. So that's gonna be one of them. I think I would like another one to be just about there. And just curving straight down to about that point, and that should be fine. Then I want another one to go all the way up to about that spot. And I think another one to sort of go up that hill a little bit there. I think that'll be kind of nice. So up to about there. Okay, so that'll be fine for another. That's sort of the spine and the ribs of this area. Now we need to get the little the little tendons. That's what we're gonna call them, the little tendons. What am I doing? Right. So these roads are gonna come out in a very similar way to what we've done before. We're just gonna extend them out like this. And we're gonna extend another one out like this. Now I do want to leave gaps between these because eventually I would like to put a bunch of trees in here. I think that'd be a really nice thing to do. Might be an idea to move this road down a little bit though. So sort of like that, I think. Should be fine. As for this side over here, I think we'll just extend off of these roads as well. And go right up to the highway. And right up to about there as well. Okay, we'll do the same to about there. These two are nearly gonna meet. They're nearly gonna meet, but they're not quite gonna meet. And this is gonna go to about there. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Once we get some zoning in here, and once we get some paths in here, this is gonna look like a proper little extension of that other neighborhood. I think this can be its own district, though. I think for sure this is gonna be marked as its own district. I don't really want it to, I don't really want it to be part of Green District, especially since districts are being so weird at the moment too, so definitely not gonna have this part of Green District. We'll bring some roads off of this point as well. And we'll have them very nearly meet, just like we've done before. And I'd like to bring a road just off of there as well to about that point. Okay. I'm liking it. Let's bring just a couple more roads off of here to about that point. And one more off of here as well. And that should absolutely do for this this particular district. I think the rest of it's going to be trees. We probably should bring a road off of here as well to about that point. Then at the end of this road, I think I want to do commercial zoning. I think that'd be kind of cool. So let's get the fill tool. Actually, let's not do that because we don't want to zone out there just yet. But I like that. I think that's going to be pretty cool once we get some proper zoning in there. So that's a pretty cool looking area to me. We got some nice expansion of our suburbs. We have got a decent number of high density buildings coming in here as well. So the population is hopefully going to grow quite nicely. We have got some demand for industrial zoning. So we should see some new offices pop up fairly soon. In fact, what I'll do is zone all of that with office zoning and zone all of that with office zoning and then swap this out for commercial. So we have some office zoning just you know, opposite each other just there. So yeah, this whole area is actually filling up a little bit quicker than I thought it would, which is nice. It's really cool seeing some proper high density zoning in here. I'm liking it. I'm also really excited to see high density zoning all the way along this avenue. Definitely keen to see some stuff happen there. But let's go ahead and do one final little bit of detailing for today's episode. And whilst we do that, I'll just remind you of a thing I said earlier, which is that I'm not really sure when this series is going to be wrapped up. And the reason I bring that up, the reason I keep bringing that up is because when I start any given series on my channel, I like to have an idea of where it's going to go, how we're going to wrap it up, you know, what's my goal with this. With City Skylines on Xbox One, I didn't really have much of a goal. This has sort of been me reintroducing myself to Cities Skylines, mostly, to be honest, in preparation for whenever mass transit comes out, because I'm actually very excited for an excuse to properly jump back into Cities Skylines, and that's what mass transit's going to be for me. But when I was, offered the opportunity to have a look at Cities Skylines and Xbox One, of course I was going to say yes, because I happen to really like the game, to be honest. It's pretty good. It's one of my favorites. So that's, why I really wanted to have a look at this. I know a lot of people, and it annoyed me so much, but a lot of people were quite negative. But I stand by what I said at the beginning of this series. By the way, this isn't the end, by the way, but I like doing this from time to time, sort of recapping things I've said before. I stand by what I said, which is that I think Cities Skylines Xbox One Edition is absolutely brilliant. I think it's a great opportunity for people to play Cities Skylines that might not have been able to before because their PC might not have been good enough. And that's something I see so many comments about. I see so many people, and have seen so many people during my time playing Cities Skylines, that have said, I love this game, even though I've never played it, because my PC can't run it. So if they have an Xbox One, now they can play it. And by the way, a lot of people have been asking me if I know if it's coming to PS4 or not. I don't know if the game's coming to PS4. It is, I would assume so. You have to keep in mind, though, the Xbox One Edition was announced in 2015 and then went very quiet for a while. So it's possible it's going to come to PS4. Maybe you'll see something at E3. I don't know. People keep asking me like I know these things. I don't. Like, I love Paradox, and they've been very kind to me over the last couple of years. But I don't know. They wouldn't tell me. Why would they tell me? Come on. I'm as excited about Cities and PS4 as everybody else. I want to see more people playing this game. That's all I want. I want people enjoying this game because it's fantastic. It lets people be creative, and I think that's a great thing. And I'm being completely genuine, by the way. Like, I don't like when people think I'm exaggerating or lying or whatever. I'm being genuine. I just want people to be able to enjoy this game. And just gaming in general. That's why I don't care about like PC exclusives going to console. We're all gamers, guys. We all enjoy video games. It shouldn't be a bad thing that other people get to enjoy the things that you have enjoyed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think with that in mind, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to do a little bit of work off camera to try and bring the population up a little bit, get some high density stuff in here. And next time, we can hopefully hit that goal of 11,000 people. What other goals do we have? So 11,000 people, 17,000 people. 17,000 people get me the crematorium, 22,000 solar power. When do we get the airports? So 70,000 people. Ooh, I don't think we're going to be getting that. Either way, we'll see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you kindly for watching. This has been Cities Skylines Xbox One Edition, Part 11. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!